Smell that? It's time for a swing dance reaction video.
No, no, no.
Woo! Lindy hop non-stop. Hello everybody. Welcome to Street Smart Swing. My name is Jamin Jackson, also known as the Galactic Swing Dance Umpire, and I am going to scrutinize another Jack and Jill competition. This time it is from Lindy Hop Non-Stop 2019. And of course, we've got a few more days left in 2019, today and tomorrow, and it will be 2020. I'm looking forward to finding out who's going to be those new artists to inspire future generations of Lindy Hoppers. That all starts with looking at competitions. So let's jump right into this one, and I'll tell you guys exactly what I was looking for in terms of my judging eye afterward, and definitely let's see what happens with this one.
And here we go.
All right, let's take a look. Oh, looks like it's in Krakow. Been to this city. It's in Poland. Let's get into it. Okay, looks like it is the battle format where I gotta oscillate between left and right, so I gotta pay attention. All right, that was round one. Here goes round two. Let's see. All right, round three, they're not playing around, just one after the other. Oh boy. Okay, this is, ooh, they're doing slow drag. I'm assuming that just means dancing slow, and that's what it looks like. Now, you guys may not know this, but I hate it when people just kind of appeal to the crowd by being silly. I would rather see them actually control some kind of technique with the dance and move slowly. I mean, come on, we have tango, right? They can move slow and still make it look good. So why not be able to do that in swing? So I'm going to be extra critical on this one. Round 2 of the slow drag. Come on, video. I thought that was a live band playing that, but no, it sounds like it is a track. All right, round 3. Let's see who it is. I like this couple, this guy with the beard, bald head. It's manly beard. It's beautiful. Alright, let's see if that was the end of the competition. Possibly. No. We're gonna do, what is this? Latin swing. Oh boy. This is different. This is different. I think I know that DJ. I think I do. I can't tell, it's too far. This is actually pretty funny. Oh. Let's see what's next. All break! Fast break! No, it's the last two couples. Alright, let's see what they do. Alright, folks. keep it going.
Thank you.
Rhythm and blues. They're adding that too. That's good. Round 2 of the rhythm and blues section. Come on. I don't know that song. I need to Shazam it. Not bad, not bad, not bad. That was a different competition. I can tell you, I've never really judged a competition where they had like medium tempo, slow, Latin rhythms, and rhythm and blues. I think that is really unique for them to actually put forth effort to make a distinction in the music where swing still kind of had an influence. That's really cool. Now, what's really hard about this is I am super critical because I take the dance really seriously, and I don't know if they had a teacher there that was teaching them Latin dancing or not. Or if they were even having them learn how to dance slowly or even to R&B music. So I'm going to be extra critical. I'm going to assume that they did have teachers that were giving them at least basics on how to do it. And so where do I start? Where do I start? It's so hard to judge competitions like this because there's so much subjectivity that most people get confused with objectivity. And I just got to be out there and straight up with you guys. For me, majority of these competitions are subjective. So at least 75% of it is. It's more about what I like, what your preference might be. And there's just a modicum of objectivity. And that has to do with the control aspect of the technique. So if I can see a leader give energy to a follower and it doesn't look like they're both fighting each other over where that energy needs to be for the viewer, they've got good technique. Good control. Now, obviously, I'm not dancing with that leader, so I don't know if he's squeezing my hands, and I don't know if the follower is squeezing the leader's hands while they're trying to do something. So I don't know in context to how it feels, but visually, I can look at the control of the technique and say, okay, they understand it, even though that might be a little inaccurate when it comes down to the feeling of it. But as a judge, that's all I have is just looking. So if I were to pick my top, let's see, for that fast session, my top 2 couples for the fast session. The great part is I don't know anybody and I don't know their names. I'm just going by what I saw if I was there judging. Obviously, the first thing I look for is control. I want to see the technique. We're craftsmen first because we are the people who did not create Lindy Hop. So we have a huge responsibility to preserve what came before. That's why we have, dance techniques that have been here for hundreds of years. It's because there's a respect for the art form. And so first I've got to go to craftsmanship. Who can actually swing out? Who can do a tuck turn? Who can do a Texas Tommy? So on and so on. And it seemed like there were two couples that were really strong at that. And my number two, second place for the fast tempo, I wouldn't say it was fast, it was like mid-tempo, would be the couple. The gentleman had like an orange shirt and she had like tan on. And the reason I had them at second is because obviously they had control, but there was something that they were doing that was different, right? They were doing something that was a little different. He had a couple of moves with his partner where they were doing like a Suzy Q or basic swing out, but they would embellish it with a shape that was a little bit more dramatic. So as a judge, if I'm having to like vacillate between left and right, my eyes immediately went to those different movements to pay attention to them more. That doesn't mean it was better because I could pay attention to them more, but they were doing these different things and not losing control of the technique. So second place for me. Now the first place couple in the mid-tempo category for me, they were also doing different things in different places and also had control of the technique. The thing that they did the most that was similar to the couple I have in second place is they had a little bit better control. They had a little bit more control. And what I mean by that, again, I can see the leaders start something and be silent and wait for the echo effect. I didn't see, the leader starts something, the echo effect starts, and the leader starts moving again. I didn't see that as much with that first couple. Plus, their energy level was a little higher to get my attention as a judge. It's just like, oh, okay, what are they doing? And some of the movements, the shapes that they did weren't 100% original. I don't think anybody did anything that I hadn't seen before, but it was the placement of what they did, in time with the music, where the phrasing was about to transition. So I could go, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then the phrase would change and they would do, start again by doing familiar movements. So the couple that got that was the gentleman in the tan. He was wearing all tan and had like a flowery shirt, I think it's something like that. And the follower had like a green dress. I liked it. They were first for me. They had control, they had timing, and they had a little bit of creativity that was based on movements that came before, but they did it a little differently. And they had the balance of those three things. So immediately I went to them. Now when it came to the slow tempo, the order was different from me because the dancers clearly were stronger at certain things, right? Not one couple won all three things for me because it's clearly the ones I got first in the mid-tempo Lindy Hop were not my first choice when it came to slow. In fact, they were not even my top two choices. That's just how weird it works, So the number two couple when it came to the slow was the gentleman that had the blue jacket, and she had like what kind of dress is that? I don't even know. I don't wear dresses. So he had a blue jacket and she had like a tan greenish dress. Yeah, it's like a taupe, almost a tan green test. The reason I like them is because they took it a little bit more seriously. I don't know if they really did take it seriously, but their movements showed me that they were not afraid to move slow and to take their time. Let me tell you one of the things I hate. I hate when people don't take dance seriously. And one of the things for me is when people dance slow, they just kind of goof off and act silly or hypersexualize it. For me, that's just totally takes me out of the genre, right? People didn't do that back then. That was like the sleazy lady and the pimp, right? Doing that. And people would be like, dude, calm down a little bit, right? Some people who were together would do that, but not that much. So for me, I don't like that. I don't like that. And that's my bias as a judge. I hate those kind of things because I know tango dancing is slow, but they can bust their tail and people can be really good at it and people can be really bad at it. So I respect when people can do slow drag and not make it look hypersexual, but make it look as if they're both one body, moving completely comfortable at a slow tempo and not looking like the leader's like making the follower do all this stuff that looks hyper. That stuff just bothers me. So they were the couple that moved together. They moved together. Of course, they sped up a little bit. You could tell they were just a little uncomfortable moving at that tempo, but they were still together. They didn't break away and start doing body rolls and stuff. They didn't do that much, right? I can't say they didn't do it at all because everybody did it, but they did it the second least amount, right? First place couple for me was the lady. She had the black pants, and the gentleman had the gray. Let's see. It was gray. No, that's it. They were the only ones for me. So instead of getting second, they got first. They were the only ones that made me go, okay, let me pay attention. Everybody else kind of annoyed me because they all kind of broke away. And I know a lot of judges think the same thing, but usually at a competition, you don't get a chance to talk to them. They don't say anything, but they think it. A lot of you think it too. So there was only one winner for slow, and that's because they had a modicum of seriousness when it came to it, and that made me want to root for them. Now let's talk about this Latin portion. That was interesting. I've never seen that before, and I found it really pleasant to know that, wow, they were going to play Latin swing and have some type of competition to that. So the couple for me that stood out the most, and there was only one. Again, there was only one that somewhat took it seriously, somewhat stayed connected and moved together, and they tried to move into Latin rhythm. I don't know if they had a basic class or not, but I was being extra critical. It was the lady who had I think it's blue. It's like a blue dress with a black shirt, and the gentleman had gray pants on, pink stripe. It's like a pink and black stripe with white. They moved together. They were kind of still swinging, and they were trying to stay connected and somewhat taking it seriously. That part I respect. Even when I go out salsa dancing, I have salsa instructors come to me going, how long have you been salsa dancing? And I'm like, today? I don't know how to formally do those art forms, but I respect them enough to try so that at least I can take the skill I have in swing and apply it retroactively to another art form. And so they did that, and they did it the best out of all the other couples. So they're first place for me on the Latin, even though everything else was atrocious to me. That's just the way I feel, and I got to put my feels out there. Because this is what I would have done if I would have judged. Then people would come up to me after and be like, why did you do that? Here's why. Okay? R&B. I like that. They did R&B. Jump, blues, R&B stuff. I love it. And again, first place for me. There was only one place on that one. And that went down to the gentleman that had the blue jacket and the gray pants, and the follower had the tan greenish taupe dress. They stayed together. I like that. They were doing basic swing. They were doing some swing out, some tuck turns, some Texas Tommies, basic stuff. But because they were actually dancing in the swing metronome and not just kind of separating and being silly, they looked like one body sharing energy at different points, and it made me appreciate what I was listening to more. They didn't do anything with timing that much. They didn't do anything extra creative that stood out, but they just simply danced swing in swing time to rhythm and blues music. And for me, they would have won first place, and they do in my book, the first place. Now, the great part is I don't know anybody's names. Like I said, this is my first inclination of watching this video. And I really, as much as it sounds like I'm annoyed by at least 2/3 of this competition, well, at least what people did, I actually enjoyed it. I mean, this is the first time I've seen this kind of format, and it's cool, and I wish people would do that more. But that's awesome that these people even put themselves out there to try it in front of all these people. So I do have a little bit of leniency on that, because I don't know if there was an instructor to teach people how to dance to this music respectfully and even try to fake it, So hats off to everybody that did it, because I probably would not have done this if there wasn't a teacher to at least give me a basic on what they were looking at in terms of Latin swing. If they did have one, dude, I would have been in this competition quickly and I probably would have won it because I would have tried the whole time to match the genre. So what do you guys think? That was my ranking of this competition. Those are the dancers I liked. If I was there attending that event and I was a new swing dancer, I probably would approach some of those couples for different things. And I would say, hey, can you show me how to do this? This is my first time. Or show me how to dance slow. I'm struggling on it. But you should do that. If you are learning how to dance like this or you want to get to the next level, don't be afraid to ask people to teach you certain things. It's just what's needed in order for a dance like this to continue. You don't always have big events, right? And not every big event has great dancers, and not every big event really loves swing dancing. Like I said, it's swing dancing is like a sports. Most of the people involved in sports are people sitting in the stands, fans, right? And you've got about 10% of the people actually playing the sport and are serious about it. So take this seriously. If you see good dancing, these people put in work, they put in effort, they love it, and ask them and they will help you. If you want to get fast results and learn Lindy Hop in a way where you can continually fix yourself, much like riding a bike, I encourage you to check out our free courses. You can kind of get a sense of how we approach Lindy Hop. We're all about stripping away the unnecessary complexity and making it simple for you to know the difference between what's absolutely necessary and what isn't, because there is a firm dichotomy between the two, and I don't want you to get it twisted or confused, because this art form is awesome and it needs your unique contribution. So let me know in the comment section who you thought should have won this competition, and if I don't see you in class online, hopefully I will see you in the next reaction video. Have a happy new year. Take care.